bro. Hey, bro.
Another QOC production.
What it do?
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, say, hey. Hey, bro.
Forward from there, so that's what brought this whole partnership.
Say, let me holler at you.
Okay.
Hey,
Funny because he fell.
say, let me holler at you. Hey, bro. Say, let me holler at you. Hey, let's have a conversation. Bro. Say, let me holler at you. Talk to me like a man, we talking like men. Show you that I'm your brother, we ride to the end. Back to a position where we live.
Yo, what it do? What it do?
What's happening, everybody? Yo, we are LIVE, live, man. What's good, bro?
I am good, brother. I cannot complain, and we are in the building, live and direct, coming to you and yours. I'm sorry, everybody. My name is Conrad, and this is my brother.
What's happening, y'all? It's Coach Chris. What's good?
That's what's up. And we're here in the building tonight, not for a long time, but while we are here, as you come in, wherever you are, when you see this, how you see this, make sure you grab the likes and the hearts. We want to see those popping off at any given point. And tonight, Chris, let me know at any point if you can't hear me properly. I think I'm coming through.
Yeah, you come through good, bro. Yeah, you
all
good.
Right, brother.
You good.
I made sure. For everybody out there, the reason why Conrad had been having so much mic issues because I had a Sodom and Gomorrah connection between Apple and Samsung going on, but now we Apple to apples, no oranges and apples. Make sure you guys get that good connection from your boys. So we're here tonight, and we've got an interesting topic. You know, I wanted to load up the big video. And I'm thinking it's going to probably pop up when I least expect it, but that is all right. We got the short form tonight, and depending on where we go, the brothers can join in as they come along, because this one was a weird one. This one was a weird one, and maybe this is an impromptu conversation. We got Christmas coming up, and it's time more to be with the family, but as we do, this is the AyeBro Show on the QOC Network. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We have got some new family in the building. We got Pops in the building. We got Quincy in the building. We got Willie in the building. And we got Chef D. She's chefing up real good. We got the queen of horror. My goodness. Queen Akila.
She's doing the
Shout
thing.
out to
She's killing it. She's killing it.
Holding it down. We got our big boss, Miss Renee, Miss Egypt. Salute to you for making sure that we have a space where the brothers can come up and do what we do, and make sure that we share knowledge and inspiration and break down some of the systems and situations that be going on in our day-to-day that are going to keep us away from progress. And we got not Quincy, Damani, my goodness.
Yes, sir. Yep.
With him and his beloved. We want to shout out and salute to them for making sure that they hold it down and keep those good vibes going. If anybody says that they don't see black men and black women heralding each other in marriage and matrimony and talking about the ins and outs, you haven't hit the QOC network, and you definitely haven't been on the AyeBro Show with our big black therapist, brother Damani. Yeah, you got to get on here. And Sundays we right back taking you to church. Not that as the filthy lucre, not the hireling. No, this is a real brother, real solid brother in Christ, and he be taking us to church, introducing us to all other musicians and singers, breaking down the word of God, really getting into your soul. So make sure you tap in with the QOC network, because we've got you. We got food for your body. We got food for your soul. We got food for your mind. We got food for your heart. How you feel about that? And most of all, let us not forget our brother, Brandon O. Soul. who's got food for you in the form of music, one-to-one producer like none other. He is the inspiration behind our wonderful. How many days I just sit here and play this and I just be rocking out to it.
Be a whole vibe, bro.
Whole vibe. So we definitely appreciate Mr. Brandon Also. Make sure you tap in with him on all major platforms, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. If you have any of your music jobs and needs, and you need somebody, you need a producer, you need the think tanker, you need the beat maker, you need somebody who will help you curate your lyrics, get through to Brandon Also, and he will make sure to set you up straight. Definitely. Man, I'll be honest, if anybody thinks that's scripted and I have a list in front of me, that was just literally off the dome.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Let them know what time it is, man.
Right? We styling and profiling. Shout out to Ric Flair.
Already. You ain't gonna hit the.
How have you been?
What, bro? You can't do Rick. Yeah, I'm about to say, bro. Yeah, you got to.
Oh
man, bro, I got the joy of the Lord on me, man. I feel fantastic, wonderful, bro. Just woke up rejuvenated and refreshed. We got the show today. It's like, how can you not be in a good mood? You know what I mean? AyeBro is here. And I'm doing business with my good brother Conrad. Fam, how you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm good. It's funny. I was able to make some moves at work and be kind of in charge of my own project, which weirdly enough, and we got some brothers that we tapping into over here on this side, and we might have to do a Life Matters show where we get into finances and life insurance and how all of that good stuff can work for you, because we don't want to just build your mind in terms of how you think. We want to be able to help you structure a life plan. So when we talk about building legacy, we're not just talking about what we think will work. We connected with people, certified individuals in the financial sphere, and I was blessed to be able to connect back with one of my brothers that I hadn't seen probably in over 3 years. And he actually helped. He doesn't know this yet, but he actually helped to confirm a career move for me. And it's funny because also at work and my employed job, my boss gave me the freedom to bring over what I spent in 5 years of third-party financing over to now this, and where I can definitely help people get what they need at a better level, get back to being able to teach them how to maximize their credit, even no matter where they are. You got bad credit, I can teach you how to maximize that. And so, God is good, man. God is just good. God is just good. So I cannot complain.
That's what's up.
You know what the funny thing is, as we was building the title and I threw it in the chat, and I remember you were like, man, like you just on one with these titles. And I was like, yeah. And then I started to kind of meditate on the title, and the question that kept coming to me is, how did we get here? You know what I mean? Like, the social media spaces and the virtual platforms, they give so much freedom, but at the same time, they also keep us separated from an abundance of conversations that we might not be knowing that is really going on. We want to shout out our brother, my brother Stan from the West Side. And he says, happy birthday, Conrad. Salute to you, my brother. Yep. Salute to you. Salute to y'all. Y'all don't make me blush, eh? Y'all don't make me blush. Y'all don't make me blush. That I'm not supposed to turn. I'm a cool brown. You know what I mean? Let me stay cool brown. No, bro. We was at work, and I came to the work Christmas function late, so I was like the last person to walk in. And bro, as soon as I walk in, they're like, Conrad's here. I'm like, yo, y'all calm it down. Like, can we chill, please? Can we chill? So
brother, receive that love and that celebration, man. I was hoping you would get to that point, but I'm glad Stan put it in the chat. Bro, like, real talk, fam. Let me give you your flowers, brother. Like, bro, you one of the dopest, most phenomenal individuals out here, bro, making an impact on the world. family, community, all of this good stuff, bro. Real talk. Like the biggest salutes to you, fam. Happy birthday, bro. Like real talk. Everybody that's out there, man, get some love, get some applause, some hand claps, man, some love, some well wishes to our good brother Conrad, man. Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate
Real
it.
talk,
I
man.
always appreciate it. And you know what the thing is I'll go up and throw up the applause. I'll throw up the applause just a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thankful that I was able to connect with brothers such as yourself, brothers like Stan, some other brothers not in the building, at least not yet. M3, Mars Best, you know, all of y'all. Ilkhan Ali, even though we haven't talked in a lot, you know, there's a lot of guys who kind of taught me about how to flex in this quote unquote podcast space, and I learned a lot indirectly and collectively from them, and I'm just appreciative, and I'm thankful for life. You know, I'm thankful for life, and like you said, you know, this is all about just trying to make an impact, and I thank God for you, brother. I really do. You know, I really wanted to be able to give back and align myself with those who can help to push the envelope further.
Man, listen, bro, I appreciate it, but the spotlight is on you, brother. We're gonna keep it there, man. Thank you, bro. But
Yo,
this is about you, bro.
Stop this.
Yeah,
Oh man. Oh man.
But
Yo, I need my cheeks to come down. Y'all ain't supposed to see me smile like this. Y'all like too
right.
much. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, bro.
yo,
That's
allow
that
me,
black
allow
that
me,
black
allow
man
me.
joy. That black man joy. All right,
Hey,
bro.
Hey, right. Oh my goodness. So we dealing with this topic for those who flowing in.
Yeah.
I came across a video, and you know we gonna make this a part two. Chill out, Stan. Chill out. Man said the spotlight's on Conrad.
Yeah.
We chilling. We here, man. So you know there was this video that came across, and I think maybe like a 30-second clip of it. We got the Ask a Brother podcast linked up with the Daily Wrap Up crew, and they were reviewing a video from a conversation on the social media space Clubhouse. Clubhouse is kind of like, I don't know. I think you might. Do you know that? You aware of that platform, Clubhouse?
Yeah, I was on there for a couple of years. Yep.
Okay. So okay, cool. So all right, cool. Because I was gonna say, please don't make me try to explain it.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe. Because I was gonna bomb that explanation. I was like, it's a faceless voice pro. Yeah, no, I'm not trying to explain too much tonight. But they were reviewing a conversation, and apparently in this one room on Clubhouse, you know, I'm guessing a KKK member was up there, and some sisters, and you know, I'm not gonna demean them, call them out their name or anything like that. They came up there and they were like, oh, we need you to help us with black men. And the thing that I found most surprising first, right, is that the KKK member was actually trying to find a rational, reasonable, logical place, because he actually interrogated the situation. And I'm not trying to put a biblical spin on this KKK member, but I find it, I want to say, not troubling, but I find it odd that one side was trying to go for the throat, but the other side, I actually saw a little bit of Solomon playing out. He's got these two women coming to him about an issue, which is the baby. And in wisdom, he knows that no mother is going to want to see her baby get harmed. No matter how much she wants her baby, not gonna want to see you get harmed. And so if you don't know the story, Solomon says, okay, let's cut the baby in two. Since I can't really figure out who the mother is, I'll give one half to you, one half to the other. And the true mother, she ends up saying, no. Give her the baby. And he says, that's how I know you're the mother. Because no mother would want to see their child harmed, even if they have to give the child up. And so I found in the beginning, and you guys will hear it in the video, he starts to ask questions about, what are you looking to achieve? And it kind of goes downhill really quick from there. And so I'm gonna play this video. Where are we? Okay, here we go.
So what are the corrections that you're looking for specifically?
Force, because that's the only thing that's gonna work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of like what do you want to see?
Well, we believe that there is no hope for them. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say. If they
Okay, I had to stop it right there. Okay, we're gonna bring back the video. And first of all, shout out to Knowledge and Relationships, my brother M3 in the building. Thank you for being here, brother. Really appreciate you. Much love to you. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Knowledge and Relationships at K-A-R on YouTube every Tuesday. He's going live with our brother Sophisticated Jerk, and they're doing wonderful work on that side of the space. Brother, hearing that, we're going to play it back again from the beginning because I really want you to hear again how that builds up. The phrase, "there's no help for black men." What does that strike you when you hear that? Like, what does it make you want to ask question? What are your initial thoughts on that phrase out of that short clip?
Bro, how much time I got?
Yo, you got time. As we would say, go on, preacher.
Man.
We not overtime. Go on, preacher.
So I caught the clip, and I'm no stranger to Clubhouse. And so I'm hearing the clip, and I'm like, okay, I've actually, in 2022, I think all the way up until probably 2024, I was on Clubhouse. And a few times I have went inside of some of those rooms, just like that, where there are quote unquote black women seeking the help of KKK or white men or whatever to assist with helping black men or whatever the case may be. This whole, all of that. So, brother, these clips, Clubhouse, social media, I'm hearing what you're saying about, there's no hope. I was also, I jot down the question, like, how did we get here? Brother, social media plays such a huge role in the fact about how we got here. That right there, my own personal experience with experiencing that right there, that particular energy, that atmosphere is not real. It's not real. I'm like, how many black women do we know that actually speak like that in their own personal lives? Going to work or, stepping outside of the house and like walking down the street, own family members, cousins, aunties, or whatever the case may be. We don't know too many black women that speak like that. So when I go on a place like Clubhouse, we got to keep in mind with some of these things, man. This is a small margin of individuals that think like this, that portray stuff like this, that talk like this. Brother, that type of content is rage bait, and it drives content, it drives views, it drives people. When I got down to the nitty gritty of this, like research, I'm like, they're looking to build numbers so they can get paid. At the end of the day, none of that's real. None of it's real. And so when we do like, you do like an entire research, look at stats or whatever the case may be, most black women don't speak like that at all.
Right.
They don't talk like that. So when I hear that, bruh, I brush it off because I know majority of black women, they do not think like that. They don't speak like that. I'm not going to say, they're not going to verbally say there's no hope for black men. They might lose a little faith here and there because of our actions, but they're not going to give up on us, bro. You see them out there bro, when some go left, when a cop kills one of us, they the first ones out in the street marching. They the
Facts.
first ones out there, bro, trying to protect and cover us. The mothers, the aunties, the sisters, like, come on, man, get real. So this whole social media piece, I'm like, and bro, before just to be transparent, before we got to like chop, before the video came on, before the live came on, me and Conrad was chopping it up about being in a place of solitude or consecration. And the beauty about being in solitude and consecration is that, like, bro, you step away from these things. Social media is one of them. And so when you detach from these things, you got a better view of how you see the big picture. And you can see, bro, like what's actually happening here. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, the stuff that's being portrayed and pushed, like, it's not real. It ain't real. Do black men and women, do we have our issues with each other? Absolutely. But there's no love lost at all. Faith is still there. Hope is still there. Nah. So when I hear stuff like that, fam, it don't faze me not one bit, because 80%, 85%, 90% of black women that's out there, they rock with us. They cool with that. So that small margin of individuals that talk like that, I really don't pay them too much mind. And we also got to keep in mind that, just hypothetically speaking, let's just say that this is real. Hypothetically speaking, that it's a sister out there that's speaking like that. It's not coming from a place of hate. It's coming from a place of hurt. And we do got to be mindful of that. We really got to be mindful of that. Most of the sisters that are speaking like that, they put their trust in a black man. They put their trust in a brother, and that brother betrayed their trust. So now they've come to the disconnect, the disappointment, the anger, the hurt, the bitterness, time and time again, bro. So this is the big picture. So anyways, bro, when I hear something like that, I'm not too much fazed. I'm not shook by it at all. All of that right there, that clubhouse foolishness, that's all it is at the end of the day, is foolishness. Because we don't know too many black women that speak like that.
Hey, no, bro, that's facts. And brothers in the chat, salute to you, first of all, Sophisticated Jerk, working alongside M3, him, Stan, they all dropping some wonderful reactions, some wonderful breakdown comments, and content over there on the other side of the space. So thank y'all for being here tonight. We gonna drop the link shortly. We just wanted to cover some grounds, and we'll replay the video as you guys come up, if y'all's free. But yeah, it's funny that you say all that, Coach Chris, because you actually just hit you answer like 3-4 points in that, and I love it. And so one of the things that you said, that you mentioned, that let's not get this misconstrued. Let's not misunderstand the point, and let's acknowledge an elephant in the room, that this is one, not the majority. And I think that's as brothers, especially as black men, what we got to do is take our thinking ears off of social media and step away from that. Not because it's not in any sense valuable, but it can distort the mind and how you see what is going on in the society around us. And the more that happens, is the more that your appreciation, because I really do believe that there's a big push and attack, Chris, for us as brothers and sisters, especially within the black community, to actually get to a place where we are completely separated. I think there's been a great push. If I could draw the example, it's like you have a sledgehammer, and you have a pick or something sharp to kind of split that wood or split the rock, right? And with black people, there's consistently an attack or multiple attacks in one place within our infrastructure. And yes, in some cases, the crack is widening, but I think what we can do is really take our eyes and our mind and our heart off of that attack and begin to stand as a defense against that attack, rather than trying to see whose fault is it at why the attack is happening from an internal aspect. Because immediately when I saw that, bro, I was upset. When I saw that video, I was upset, and I took the week to kind of center my thoughts and center my feelings on it. And then I was like, okay, what's really going on here. And like you asked, the next question, it was like, okay, where is this coming from? Salute to our brother Rush in the building. Thank you for being here. CEO of the Ubuntu Network. He was with us last time we was rocking out, and it was a great episode. And like I said, brothers, we're gonna drop the link shortly. And
You're
just
not
in
by
case,
yourself.
Yeah,
You're not, my apologies, you're not by yourself. Because in 2022, 2023, I went inside them rooms, bro. I went up to talk. I went up to defend black men. And just like you, bro, I was pissed. And the OG had to pull me to the side. He the one that dropped the wisdom on me. He like, yo, young buck, I appreciate what you said, but he like, don't give that energy. Don't give your energy to it. He's like, yo, it's not real. They trying to make money off of us. They know it's a trigger, bro. They trying to trigger black men. They're trying to get you off your square. That's all that is at the end of the day, bro. He said it ain't real, man. It's not real.
And so is the fact, and me, you can agree on that. And as we let the brothers up, we'll hear their opinions on that. But is the fact that we can discern that and we can decipher the fact that, hey, this is being said, it's hurtful, but at the same time, there's an aspect of hypocrisy in it, because really and truly, this is people trying to say, what can I throw at the wall and make it stick? If I can get 5 minutes of viral fame and 10 minutes of viral money, what is it about the masses that may be looking for these type of triggers too often? Have we become, what are your thoughts on that? Have we become so hungry for the next thing that at some point, sometimes we're willing to accept anything? What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I would say, yeah, man. Fast forward to now, we're going into 2026, and it's the exact same cycle over and over. And the crazy part about it is, Conrad, bro, it's like 5%. But the thing is that negativity gets pushed, that division gets pushed. I like to think, me personally, I'd like to think that, bro, we're more unified than we actually think that we are. We're more unified, man. We think that we're not unified. We're actually more unified. Look what we did with Target. Look what we did with the economy. Like, when we really like get down and rock with each other, like, bro, we can really make some heavy waves, man. Nah, I just feel like there's a small percentage of negativity that gets pushed through social media, whatever the case may be, and it just triggers people, and they know it triggers individuals, and that joint just rides and it goes viral. But like you said, like the way you jumped off this live, bro, you spoke about the money, him and his beautiful wife, their beautiful marriage, like is out there. You spoke about us, AyeBro, wonderful gentlemen, brothers coming together and rocking out and doing our thing. Like, bro, stuff like this is what needs to be pushed. It gets there eventually, but it has a hard time getting there. Bro, you've been doing your thing for a grip and you made waves, but bro, you should be up there. But because you're not like participating in foolishness, you feel me? You're not participating in the vision and trigger points and stuff like that. It doesn't go viral enough. And when you look at these social media things, bro, the way it's designed currently is just that. So it's like, yeah, we're always chasing that next thing. I'm hearing stuff about stepdaddies now. I'm like, what's wrong with the stepdaddies, bro? I'm like, you see what I'm saying, bro? Like, yeah,
that's
I'm
been
like,
an ongoing.
You know what? I'm like, what's the beef with
do?
stepdaddies now, man? I'm like, bro,
you know what we got to do? We got to pull the Dave Chappelle on that. Hold on, Dave, where you at?
Well.
Yeah,
man.
No,
Yeah.
that needed the Dave Chappelle laugh, because man, it's, see, the thing is, and here's the reason. It's not to say that there's not a business side to content creation. But I think and it's funny because Think Media is they're a media company, and they talk about this often, where the aspect of personal branding. I just want to put that up. CEO said, clickbait, rage bait. That's facts.
Mhm.
Our sister Keela in the building, rocking out with us. Say, hey, fellas, blessings to you, my love. Oh. Rush is up in the building. Rush is up in the building.
What's happening, brother?
Yo, what up? Salute.
Salute. Let me give you that round of applause. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. So what's going on with the whole Twitter situation? You said a chick was talking about rolling up with the KKK or something like that.
No, she was literally asking the KKK, and you know, we were kind of at the point where we were deciphering how did we get here. Chris touched a bit on why we got here, and the fact that the matter is we were kind of at that point in that consensus where we were both agreeing, and a couple of people in the chat, CEO and it was saying that, you know, it's that clickbait, rage bait, but even to dive further on that it was literally the aspect of people wanting to make money, wanting to go viral for a minute. Chris touched on the fact that, you know, Clubhouse, within the aspect of the dichotomy of social media, it's kind of its own entity in a sense, where people are even more brazen to say anything that comes to their mind. And, you know, in a sense, they know that somebody's going to clip it. Somebody's going to replay it somewhere. Like, I'm pretty sure that clip's not a new clip, at least it can't be too old. So they knew that it would go the distance. I'm not sure if you saw. Yeah, that's facts. Akila said, hey, people really need to find better things to do. No, it's true. Because again, like, when I look at when I look at the clip itself, and I'm gonna play it again, Rush, so you can kind of hear and see if you didn't get to see it before. Like, when I looked at that, I was kind of like, how hungry are you for fame that you gonna use two entities that are technically enemies of each other to try and push, and you're gonna use that as a narrative to try and get some money and get yourself some fame. Rush, I'm gonna play that video right now, the clip again.
So what are the corrections that you're looking for specific?
Force, because that's the only thing that's gonna work.
But I mean, what are you looking for black men to arrive at? A place of understanding of, like, what do you want to see?
Well, me
We
personally,
believe that there is no hope for them. But I'm trying not to say what I really want to say. If they could not exist, hey, we wouldn't be mad.
Like you said, I haven't heard on the opposite end black men saying anything as harmful or as hateful as the type of rhetoric I'm hearing from black women. Their version of we hate women is us being critical of them.
Many black women were being used as tools and right-hand mans of white supremacy. If you're a black man, those statements aren't coming out of a vacuum. This ideology isn't coming out of a vacuum. There are people that are women that our women are listening to that's causing and creating much of the divide that we're talking about. And they're supporting them. They're working together. They're looking out for each other. And then when it comes to politics.
So I kind of want to stop it there because our brother Jeff, he was kind of analyzing the dichotomy of the mindset of it. Let's get to some of these comments right quick, and then Rush, we're gonna come to you. Where are we? Okay. CEO said, we are doing anything to get at the top. Yep. That love for the love of money is the root of all evil. My goodness.
Mm.
Okay, Akila said, these teens and preteens are out there rage baiting their They're parents. It's me. I'm parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's ridiculous even to know. And I think I don't remember if it's up here or if it's in another country, but I recently seen a post where they're like, hey, like we are, if you're a preteen, we are you're not going to be able to get on certain social media pages. I love that. I love that we're finally taking a stance, because some of these kids are out here and young adults are out here, and all they just see is, okay, like, how can I make a quick buck? It's like the influx of OnlyFans. They're just trying to make a quick buck to be able to say, okay, like, I made it. I live a better style. I live a better style of life than you. You might have your morals. You might have this, or you might have a good compass, but you ain't got this style. But before we go much further, Rush, what do you got on that? What are your thoughts, man?
First of all, I want to say that's pretty sad for her to say something like that. And two, I'm not surprised, man, because there's like a whole divesting movement towards black men. I don't know if you ever heard of Cynthia G, but she's like the spearhead of that joint, and she has a huge following, bro, and yeah, man. I mean, I don't think it's like I don't think it's out, trying to get a viral moment or make money, But my thoughts on that, a lot of these women are broken, bro, and they come online to vent, It's just, it's just sad to hear that,
No, for real. And as you said, right, is broken people. I think that's one thing I had to check myself on when I was first getting into the aspect of podcasting, was kind of like why am I doing this? You know what I mean? What am I hoping to achieve? And I kid you not. And y'all can clip it, because this is Brother Jay. Salute to you, my brother.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear, big brother. How you doing, man?
Just getting done with work, man. I've been hearing what you guys have been saying, and listen. And one more thing. I'm sorry, my bad. I forgot to say this. Shout out to every brother on the panel, and shout out to my man DaReal. Subscribe to this cat's channel. I don't give a damn who you are. If you love the information you're hearing, man, subscribe. I gotta shout out my man. Like, I gotta do that before I make a point. Because, yeah. See, one of the things that we have to do in this now age, like, we have to take in information from our like, I would say from our significant others. So basically, our elders before us, basically. So like our grandfathers, our dads, like, people who were in the grind before we came, out the womb and things like that. I think it's highly important that we take on those values that they gave us. And I think I've always said this, but I've never said it on my brother's channel, but you have two types of examples in your life. If you have your dad and your grandfather, but here's what it is. So for your dad, it was your grandfather, his dad. For you, it's your dad. So for example, the template would be, the example would be your grandfather and your dad is the template. That's what that would be, because you have two men who have been through it and lived through it, passing on their values to you. And not only just that, they're your mentors. Now, I think, that's my personal opinion, where, whether your grandfather or your dad could be a mentor, I think both are great choices, in my opinion. But I think what you want to look to is your dad. Like, you can still get advice from your grandfather, son, this is what I did, and this is how your dad did this particularly. But your best bet is to learn from your dad. because, and here's why I say that. There are a lot of things that my dad learned from my grandfather that he passed on to me that I didn't even know that, you know, that he didn't learn that. And like I said, he told me to me as I came of age, and it was like, son, you want to keep a hold of this, you know, character is everything. That's something that you build over time. But I'm your template. So me doing what I do every day is gonna help you get a sense of how a man should move, walk, talk, able to carry yourself. And like I said, now the only difference is your personality that forms from when you come out the womb to what you are technically after high school. I'll probably, you know what? No, I'll expand upon that. Out of college, because I do believe brothers who go into college are not the same brothers. Are not the same brothers when they come out. I think they come out completely different. And I really think that's to do with the dad particularly. And whatever you learned out of there formulates you and transforms you into a different person. And this is the product you got when you came out of college. Like I said, a combination of your mom, your dad, you, and your grandfather. You can throw your grandmother in there too if you want to. But you have a combination of 4 people in this one person. And I think the thing is you embody that every day you walk out the house. And also I want to say this, it depends on how important legacy is for you. But I think for any man, you know, his son is his legacy. Like he's a part, like I said, he's a final product of his hard work and everything. But that doesn't mean that it stops. It means that you carry on your father's will, your grandfather's will. And like I said, I think most people don't think of it like that. But it depends on, like I said, depends on how you value legacy and how you're looking at it. For me, I think my grandfather, you know, even though I learned as much as I could from him, it still wasn't, like I said, I think because, like I said, because your grandfather, how old he is, you can only learn so much. So I've always said, absorb some knowledge you can get from him of some things that he may have did that your dad didn't do. And then, always go to your dad for advice, for the here and now, because, there's some things he did that he may know, and, or how about this? If he wasn't good at one particular thing, his dad was probably good at it. He just probably, was a kind of like a jack of all trades and then learned it and then said, son, well, I did such and such. So, but you have a talent that I didn't have. So capitalize off of that. And then this will be something in your arsenal that you can use at any time throughout your life. Because I've always said a man has to be useful to a woman or to his goals. And I've always said he has to be 3 out of 5 on some of that things. Or he starts off 3 out of 5 and he'll never ever completely be 5 out of 5, but learn that 4 skill. And you'll be surprised how much that will help you. So I've rambled on enough. I think most of the panel and the audience gets what I'm saying. Like I said, fathers are important and grandfathers. I don't want to leave the grandfathers out because I tell you this, my grandfather is still freaking old school implication on me and the value of hard work. So and I had an example, and the example I had to look to was my dad because, like I said, former military veteran, former policeman, former juvenile correction officer, but also what he did at the house. Like I said, he knew. Like I said, he inspected engines, was able to actually profit off the side hustle because of extra skill that he picked up that his granddad, that his dad, my grandfather, pretty much didn't have. So that's why Yeah, and I love the idea that that you can learn from these great men and become one yourself. And that's something like I said, that's something you kind of want to, like I said, you kind of want to instill old school, no matter what era you're in, into your son or kid. I'll say this. I've been saying son, but into your kids in general, to let them know that nothing is ever given to you. You always have to work for it. And for me, I've always believed that I don't deserve anything. Once you worked your ass off for something and then you get it, that's the reward.
See, my man is dropping bars. I like what I like what he's saying, because it ties into everything. It's like, yo, how did we get here? And like, when you think about it, I'm hearing them talk about grandfathers and fathers as mentors. I'm like, bro, how much does that play into all of this where we at right now? Is it a lack of mentors, as I heard Conrad? Jay, what's y'all thoughts on it? But social media is one aspect. But what about who is mentoring us at the end of the day?
The cause of that is within our demographic. Well, it's not just our demographic, but it hits our community first. Is that we're moving to more of a matriarchic system. I mean, a lot of times, the women in our community have more of a social status than a man. So you can't be led by a female. You know what I mean? She's always driven by her emotions, and a lot of times, not just our demographic, as well as Caucasians, they kind of follow the laws of their women that implement within their relationship. So a lot of times, dudes will follow the lead of the female, and then they think it's okay. For example, there's a saying, happy wife, happy life. I think that's demonic in itself. You know what I mean? Like, the female should always follow the man's lead, because that disrupts the divine order. Now, a lot of times, males and females don't agree for my thoughts on this, but it is what it is, man. We're moving in a matriarchic system, and a lot of these dudes are suckers and simps, and they always follow the lead of the woman that they're dealing with.
I'll put it like this. Here's my thoughts, right? Because there's aspects of what Rush just said, and then there's aspects of what Jay said when it comes down to knowledge and leadership, when it comes down to community. So I'm a firm believer that we've got to raise our children, and within the context of the house, right? There has to be a balance to the message. One can't counteract the other. That's number one. Number two, there's got to be the foundation of the message that is going out must be able to serve and reach through generations, right? And I think what has happened, because of certain vices and systems that have been tried to implement, because if we look at, there's a couple different sides of this attack, right? There is the sides of, one, let's remove the black home, right? Let's remove the black home. So if we remove the black home, let us talk to the individual who's mostly going to be at home. And this was in a certain context and within a certain time. So if we really look at it and we analyze it from what's the book, the Art of War, right? There was 30 years of concentrated attack, and it wasn't seen as attack. It was seen as a movement of quote unquote liberation. And we all know this because men were at work, whether they were married or not, they were at work. And as times begin to change, and it was going to be that call up to the workforce. On one hand, there was the women's suffrage movement, which gave them the access into the workplace, to voting rights and everything like that. And that was used to propagate. Now I've got somebody who couldn't sustain themselves, and now they can sustain themselves on every level that the man can sustain themselves. And it's just like when you give your kids, money for the first time. They think it's $100, but they don't now realizing it's $10, right? And so there was an aspect, and we could go back into this even by like ethnicity, where it's, again, one using the other. Now, for all the information that we have, because I'm not going to go down there because I probably need at least another 20, 30 minutes to get through this. Let's capsize it at this. Knowledge should be always foundational. Now, I think, and I'm going to put this up to Rush at a later point because I want to come back to Chris. Or I want to come to Jay and then we come to Chris and then we come around. We can say that the foundational knowledge from women, because this is what I've seen, right? If we go to the scriptures in Titus chapter 2, it says to the women, teach your daughters. Men, teach your sons. Now, what we are teaching in those contexts are two different messages, but they both overlap on the one. Because if you don't have grave and sober men, then you won't be able to easily teach the young women how to be keepers of the home, not just at home, but keepers of the home, and how to love their husbands. So when you have a message that is divisive and it's opportunistic, and that message keeps getting fed into the populace day by day, if we don't reinforce community and togetherness, especially within Black men and Black women, then we are going to be left to the device of the opportunistic doctrine. And I think that's what's happened. So what we reviewed in this video is a lack of knowledge, as Jay put it, from our forefathers, our grandfathers, and our fathers. And we saw somebody or a group of individuals that was leaning into the opportunity to say something viral. They didn't care who it hurt. They didn't care what it was at all. And this is what gets hurt down, because you got to teach somebody how to be favor before they can actually be somebody's favor. I'm going to say that again, because I don't want you to miss that. If the Bible says, and the scriptures say, he who findeth a wife, meaning she's already completely groomed, installed with the knowledge of a wife from a wife. He who findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor from the Lord. Does that mean she has nothing to improve upon? No. But does that mean there are things that come with her because they were installed in her? It was a knowledge and it was a foundation that built her up to be able to carry out said knowledge to impact her home. So that way when the light turns to her, because how men nurture at home is not the same how women nurture at home. And oftentimes we have to admit that we need a woman's nurturing at home. It's not that that's the only place that she can nurture, but that's where it's unscripted. A woman can't envelop a man with her nurture, or her God-given ability to nurture at work, because her eye at that point in her mind is always going to be drawn in a different direction. Her energy, her attention is going to be in a different direction. But when she walks in through that house and she comes into the home now, her ability to nurture is not restrained. Just like the man's ability to lead and provide knowledge is not restrained. So we've actually got to work together to remove our homes, our systems, our businesses, our kids from the indoctrination of opportunity by way of the medium of either getting viral or using hurt, because Chris highlighted that before everybody came up. And Rush, you touched on it when you said it's hurt individuals that are in these spaces saying these things. We've got to do a good job together to get each other away from operating through hurt to get to money. Because if the love of money is the root of all evil, then hurt is definitely the car of this generation that says, why hurt when you can pay it away? So I want to land there because I could take another 5 minutes and go up on this, but we do need that. We need to realize that. And dare I say this, I'm gonna land here, and then Jay, I'm gonna come to you, and Chris, I'm gonna toss it back to you after that. And this is not a he against a she, but ladies, if you have a man around you, you're going to have to allow us to do the hard work. And at certain points, some of that work has to be uninterrupted. I was saying to Chris earlier before we came on the live that I had his back spiritually while he was in consecration. He didn't ask me to do that, but I understood the assignment. Jay was able, at one point, to connect me and another one of our brothers. He's not here tonight, but Jay was able to connect us together, and we are able to actually have a fellowship. But there's an unwritten responsibility there, and there's an unsaid responsibility that as men, especially, I stand guard for these brothers in prayer, whether they ask me to or not. This is the same thing with Rush. Rush doesn't ask me to pray for him, but that he doesn't have to. And so we've got to realize that, ladies, especially if you have a man in the home or a man in your life, whether it's your father, your brother, there's a certain type of work that he's going to do in working with you. And you have to allow for that space the same way he's got to allow for you to have space to operate in the way that you should operate. Not in the way that you can operate. All things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. This is where we actually have to make the decisions together about what is not expedient. I think as men, we can all agree that OnlyFans is not expedient. But if we trickle down the line, and I was listening to something on this today where it said that a high majority of porn stars, female porn stars, that they actually end up committing suicide, or they're heavily stuck on substance abuse because they're entering into a way of life that no matter what they say on camera, off camera, that is not how they were created to operate. And it's not within their biology to operate in that. The thing is they're being preached, and I want all brothers to remember this, that a lot of women are being preached to out of hurt. And the indoctrination of hurt is leading them to say, I can use money to push hurt away. We actually have to work together now to reshift their focus. And it might not be all of them, but we should marvel in that even the fact that there would be some of them that would say, you know what? I hear you. I hear you. And you're right. I do need to look at this lens. I need to fix my lens and stop looking through a hurt scope. Because those in that clip, even the KKK tried to be like, well, what do you want black men to come to? What are you trying to get them to understand? And they were so fixated on their goal that they couldn't even answer that question. I yield there. Jay, what do you got? I know he's driving.
Oh no, sorry about that, bro. Oh, there we go. Had to get rid of that background noise. At a gas station, get ready to refill my truck up and everything. But oh man, I mean, bro, I mean, what you said was very loaded. Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong because I believe everything you're saying. You're right, but to get to the bare meat of what you're saying, this type of like issue, particularly, hey listen, man, this man was spitting, so he said a mouthful. Something like this is gonna take, I don't want to say generations, but this is gonna take periods of time to like get away from this type of culture that's been like embedded inside of these girls' minds. Because the more I think about it, the more the more I always say, like, you know, God bless, you know, whether you have a son or a daughter. And I know people always say, like, God forbid you should have any daughters. And I say that to myself now because I'm just like, I'm not raising a freaking daughter in this type of freaking like culture or whatever, like to, you know, to embrace like nonsensory buffoonery and just kind of like self-destruction. It's
hey,
not
bro,
cool.
come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Hey, but no, I love that you did that, man. But listen, we're all here together, and we have to find ways to love, cooperate with one another, to people who are willing to actually make something for themselves in their lives. And the thing is, a woman is meant to be next to a man, particularly to be led by a man on his purpose. Whether he's in the Bible, whether he's not in the Bible. Because I can tell you this right now. I know many people who are Christian and many, I'm close to my door, y'all. I don't want you to hear that background noise. But I know many people who are Christian and many people who are atheists. And I promise you, those men that I know, they are men through and through. They don't cut corners. They do their role very well. And the thing is, they don't stop being them. Like I said, they continue to do the very thing that they set out to do when they met the woman that they wanted to marry. Like I said, they have not stopped. I've been friends with these guys since high school, and kind of me surprised the change that they made to their lives when not when they came into money, but when they went on the journey that they went on. And I'm talking about every man has this. The journey you go on, it's crazy how some of the changes of what you go through like turn you into a completely different person. Like these are not the guys I met in high school, particularly. I'm talking about like, you know, when we're all, you know, when you're in high school, you're young and dumb, and you know, you don't, you know, what you want out of life and things like that. Like you said, you kind of still listen to your parents and you haven't figured yourself out yet. When I tell you these brothers did like a 360 on their personality, bro, I would have thought they were freaking robots. Yeah. I tell them to this day, man, like you will only be as good as, you know, who you let into your life and also the amount of work that you put in. I think they both go hand in hand. So if you're going to have children of any kind, like, you know, a son or a daughter, I will always say, you know, with this type of culture, do not let your daughters be raised by the internet. Do not let them be raised by the dysfunctional woman out here. Let them be raised by the women in the family who have been raised well and proper. And I'm gonna take some Black Panther things from here, guys, and we've all seen Black Panther. Like, everybody saw the movie, like how their people all moved, how they all talked, how they communicated, how they were all about one being, you know, as my man T'Challa said it to the late Chadwick Boseman, you know, as we're all one single tribe. That's how you have to operate. That's how your daughters, your sons, the men and the women all operate as if they're one single tribe. Once you and I know it's been said so many times, we can't take everybody with us. And listen, I'm quite fine with that. Not everybody can make it in the ship, and not everybody can be part of the tribe, and that's quite fine. But guess what? What needs to be done is what needs to be done, regardless of what measures we have to take. Particularly, if we want to pass on, like I said, if we want to pass on knowledge, if we want our kids to be even better than us, because they're in a time period where it's easier to make money and certain things like that, and there are certain skills that they have to pick up, then guess what? Then they have to go on that journey to learn that particularly. Now, what I don't propose is our daughters being shown online, scantily clad and all that other bullshit. Pardon my French. And you know, for all the world to see. For example, I don't want to see, and Conrad, I know you're an actual parent, by the way, so I don't know if you have any sons or daughters, though. But and like I said, I don't know what you have. I mean, and that's your personal life, so I don't want to pry into that.
I got both, and trust me, what we talking about here is the light version of how I react to things in the home.
Oh, okay. And well, I want to say this, brother. One, congratulations on having kids. Obviously, I always want to congratulate a brother for doing that. And being in the life, because I really, because you always break that to me. Every black man breaks that narrative when they are in their kid's life, and it just shuts all those haters and bitter broads up, in my opinion, because you're shutting down those statistics whenever I hear that damn nonsense. So that always makes me happy to hear that personally, because it's another W for us. But you're, like I said, your kids, like I said, they're gonna learn. Like I said, they're gonna learn the best they can from you. And I'll say this: I don't want to see Conrad's daughter in the future online somewhere when I'm trying to search up how to sell banks or whatever, or there's like an ad for some nonsense. Like, I would assume that Conrad, like the type of man that he is, like, he would raise his daughter to be an actual lady, a lady to be, wed in the future by a man with integrity, of Christian values, and things of that nature. Not some dude who's just, not some F-boy that's just going around smashing for the fun of it, or some BS. But, things around the nature of our kids are the next generation. We're not gonna be here when, like I said, when we're gone, they are what is left of us. And it's important that they carry on the beliefs of their mom and their dad, particularly. Like I said, your daughter should know what to look for in a man when she looks at you when you come home. She emulates that. Like I said, remember I said about the father being a template for the son? Well, guess what? He's also a template for your daughter for picking out a person to be wed to. But in this case, I still go. But also, hold on. If we go by Christian values, fathers should be picking out the dude. If I'm gonna keep it real with you, and the reason why I say that is because I believe. Listen, I believe the father can scout out the correct brother who is going to lead his daughter well, and also this brother. Not only that, I also like this though. I like the fathers who known this kid since he was on the block and got it out of the mud, and guess what? And guess what? He's friends with the boy's father. Also knows that, and also know what type of character he's been building, and also low key you've been mentoring, and low key you've been mentoring him, and it's like, this is the only boy I will let marry my daughter. Are you out your damn mind? Like he down the street. Nah, he ain't him. But my boy Mark over here, yeah, Mark got his wits about everything. He's got it. He's got character. He's got, he has his Christian values. He goes to church. That man knows what he's doing. He's working hard and implementing everything that his dad, which is my friend, is implementing every day. That is the type of man I want around my daughter. And I know it's going to be able to lead her into the future, and then she's going to be taken care of well. And also, she'll be helping him on his journey. So which means I can pass the torch over to Mark. So that's what we need to be raising our daughters to be, looking for templates of us particularly, and our wives are nurturing them and making them more ladylike and educating them into being more of, like, family oriented, or yes, wife oriented / family oriented, because I think that's what's really missing, is where you'll kind of have, like, children kind of raise themselves, and in this day and age where, like, they don't, like I said, no mentors, no really good parenting, no really form of structure or socially in their life. And guys, I've run into a couple of people like that, and because I'm an uncle and I got, like, so many nieces and nephews, my nephews look up to me now. And you know what I said to myself? I gotta be a damn good role model, because I gotta set expectation for that. And I'm actually beating the narrative of, like, you got terrible uncles. I'm like, hey, listen, I ain't gonna be one of them terrible uncles. You can't never put me in that category, Because one, I got my little brother's back. I got my little nephew's back. And anytime they call me, I sit down. I'll you guys tell you the truth. I've actually had 15 to 20-minute conversations with my nephews. I actually have. And that's something I keep from my family because I don't even know my business particularly, but I like to know that these little boys can, actually talk to their dad, talk to their uncles, and really actually get some good advice. And also, hey, listen, if your niece ever calls you, I'm like, normally I would tell you to go to your dad, what did she say? And then I'm like, because like I said, because I don't like to defer daughters to I don't want to defer kids from talking to their parents, because they should always, numero uno, you should always go to your parents, number one. And conversations with your parents do get easier as you get older, because I'll tell everybody right now real quick before I pass the mic. I can remember 3 conversations I had with my dad because I told him something that I know I could trust him with. And guess what? It didn't backfire on me. We sat down for at least maybe about an hour, talked about some things about what I wanted to do and plan. And after that, every conversation got easier to have with my dad. Because my father does command. My father commanded a presence in the room because he was a policeman and a military man. So I'm a military brat. You know what it is. So he commanded that presence, and he never wanted to make it seem like, son, talk to me. Like, I find myself talking to my dad almost every 2 days now, and I'm 34 years old, y'all. So, and I'm still, like I said, I'm still trying to get as much information from my dad as much as I can, and he's told me son, you don't have any children out of wedlock, you don't have any debt particularly, and you're making good money. I think you're doing well for yourself, and he had to reaffirm that to me, because one day I came down telling him, I said, I feel like I haven't accomplished enough. He said, son, you've accomplished a lot. You just don't know it. So I'm gonna end it there.
All right. No, I like that. I like that. That. Oh my goodness, that part right there. Whew. Bro. Hey, Rush, you there? I'm gonna get to these comments because they tapped in on what Jay was speaking of. Okay, Rush might be dealing with something in the background. I know he's
No, I'm here, man. My bad, man.
Okay, all right, Rush. What you got on the aspect of foundation community by way of institutional foundational learning? What is for? I would say if I could redirect, or as we direct this from where Jay landed off, because he made a great point in terms of continuing to glean information from his dad. What is it about this generation that wants our women and men to idolize money and fame at a time when both money and fame are being exposed, not necessarily as evil themselves, but as devices that have led to more, let's say, atrocities? What is it about this time that is trying to really push it? Is it the fact of a lack or a fear of missing out? Or is it because man and woman are seemingly divided through the divisiveness of the gender war that we have this vacuum, and by that it's easy to push this narrative to the children? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, well, my thoughts is pretty, well, how can I say this, man? My thoughts on what you just told me, or what you want me to explain, it's pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to use cliche, but it's pretty cheesy, and I'm gonna say it because this is what's in my spirit to say. Your word is born. We're in this predicament because we don't follow the laws of Yah, man. were
Whoa,
disobedient.
pause that right there, because this is what CEO said the same thing earlier. She said we need to get back to God. We need to get back to God. We need to get back to God. So, hey, Rush, I'm throwing it right back to you. You heard it right here. All three of us said it. All four of us have said it. That in getting into the Most High, getting back to God, getting back to foundational values is going to do what? Help us to restore, reset, and re-guide, reshape. Yo, Rush, take it. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so because we kind of lost our way with the Most High, he's gonna allow us that don't follow the commandments or the laws of Yah. He's gonna allow us to fall into a reprobated mind state. Know what I mean, so a lot of times, with these chicks, with their transactional mindset, it's like that because they don't have God in them. You know what I mean? The dudes that simp over these women, they don't got God in them. They got the spirit of Ahab in them. Know what I mean? And I don't know if your audience is familiar with the biblical stories of King Ahab wifing up the Jezebel, his queen or whatever. But she was grimy, and a lot of times, a Ahab type dude links up with a chick that got the spirit of Jezebel in them. Know what I mean? So a lot of these people will, nowadays is wicked. Think about it, right? Child support, that's like a $6 billion its revenue accumulates a year is $6 billion a year,
Yeah,
right?
that it's an industry.
And also OnlyFans is about 2.9 billion a year. You know what I'm saying? So do you know what? This is like what, only 3 billion people in the world, worldwide,
Yeah,
all over the world. Like, think about it, man. Like 2.9. That's like
crazy.
damn near, you know what I mean? So, chances are, in this day and age, and if we do the numbers on this, right? Let's just say half of the men in the world is paying for OnlyFans all over the world globally, right? That means 50% of 50%, there's a 50% chance that when you link up with a female, she's a pro. You know what I mean? And this all stems from, not following, you know what I mean? The laws of Yah, man. They ain't got God in them, nigga. So you gonna do what you gonna do. You know what I mean?
Jeez. And to throw a stat at you guys, and for the brothers watching, and this is where it's not a rebuke. Well, it is a rebuke. If you find yourself in this, but it's a loving rebuke. If you have any Corn subscription or OnlyFans subscription, cut that off today. Wherever you are, however you get this transmission on this live, we've said it. The chat said it. The CEO said it. Like, there's foundational knowledge, and there's things that distort foundational knowledge. Waywardness, and that waywardness comes out of the aspects of things that completely just feed the dopamine of our flesh. And if I want to be the father I want to be, if Jay wants to be the uncle he wants to be, if Rush wants to be as infectious and influential to the community as he can be, if Chris wants to be as the light that God has positioned him to be, if we all want to be a light and a beam of light, right? We can't do it half-stepping. We're going to have to take the time to introspectively look into ourselves, look into our minds. Because I didn't want to highlight this earlier, but I'll highlight it now. The CEO put a comment in the chat that it's not just women too, it's men too. Yeah, it is, because you know what? I don't know if y'all know this, but I think it's around 70 to 80% of the first base subscribers of OF is married men. Now, do we understand what we're doing when we have these subscriptions? It's not just what you're feeding your mind. It is the spirit that comes along with that.
Hey, yo, let me interject real quick, if I may, Conrad.
Yeah.
Like, I read the stats on women that's content creators on OnlyFans. The ages between 18 to 25, it's it's a 70% rate that those age group are putting out content on OnlyFans. So which means 7 out of 10 broads from the age of 18 to 25 is a pro. You know what I'm saying? Let that sink in, nigga. Like, we're cooked as, as a community, nation, or whatever you call it, man. Like, we're cooked, man. Like, you mean to tell me 7 out of broads from the age of 18 to 25 is a damn near a prostitute, bro? Like, you're putting out content on OnlyFans. She a pro.
But even with that, right? When is it that, and this is something I've been asking for time, and Chris, I'm gonna jump to you on this because we on one hand we overtime, but I wanna get at this, and CEO just asked it in a different way. At what point are we as men gonna say, yo, this can't be around me in any shape or form?
Yo,
because
and
hold on. I'm gonna get you, Rush, but I just want to ask this, right? Like, this is a think tank moment. At what point are we gonna have such a standard? And it's not to say I'm better than my brother, because none of us are perfect. But if we're moving towards excellence, at what point are we gonna say this is not allowed around me? I will not entertain. I won't entertain. I won't allow it to be around me. And if we have to, even go as far to explain why it cannot remain around me. Because if what Jay said is true, and we're trying to build the community, and we understand that community is not a one-to-one in terms of man to man, it's man and woman together, then at what point, and I'm a firm believer in this, right? I'm a firm believer in this. If I'm leading by example as a man, if I'm leading by example, and my brother comes to me and says, yo, I got this baddie, and yo, she got the free sub this week. You got to see this. Is it not my responsibility to look at him and be like, brother, why are you wasting your time waiting for a free subscription? And not necessarily my responsibility to just him, the community. Because if I let this brother continue in this type of mindset, where recreationally he's enjoying himself through OnlyFans and corn subscriptions, am I not putting the community at risk? Because some of the same children that are involved in this are the same children that turn around and be like, yo, you had the subscription. Mom had the subscription. Dad had the subscription. Uncle had the subscription. Grandpa had the subscription. So at what point does the standard of the preservation of the community, both now and the long term, become a focus for us? How much more men are going to continue to suffer in this before we collectively say, yes, OnlyFans subscription is a reproach unto any man. Every man is free to do what he wants, but if you're going to be a foundational man that leads your home and that leads your community and stands by your women, at the end of the day, we all must agree on this one thing, that OnlyFans and corn subscription is a reproach. And that's not us putting any man into hell. Because I think this is sometimes what happens, not here with us four. I've seen this happen in on other platforms where it's a hard stance. And it's like, well, brother, you got to understand every man's free to make his own choice. Okay, every man's free to make his own choice, but we can all agree on this. If every man is in the community making his own choices that are not for the community, how is the community going to survive? I say that again. If every man is making his own free decision in the community and the decisions he's not making are not indicative of the community, how does the community survive? Because we can easily go back to these women that made this comment to the KKK, and we can say they were allowed to stay in their hurt, and somebody told them that it's better to stay in your hurt and get what you can get. Tell your story, tell your truth. At some point, we've all got to wake up to the knowledge that sometimes it's not our truth, it's our hurt, and that breeds delusion. And we sitting up here and we're preaching these things, but it's causing more hurt. So at what point do we get to the place where, out of love and preservation for the community, we sit there and say, yo, this is a reproach unto any man? Because the only way, as Jay was making a mention, the only way my daughter will know that OnlyFans is not the way to go is by my stance on, and I'll say it like this, demonizing it completely. Not the person behind it, the device. And if the person behind it believes in the device that much, then yes, I will give an example of who you do not act like at any given point. And because this generation loves information, I definitely want to make sure that we definitely, you know what I mean, stress. Brandon O'Soul, what's up? We definitely want to stress that, you know, we can't be caught halting between two opinions just because both sides got issues. We as men, we have to take that firm stance. I yield there. Chris.
Bruh, this been good, man. This has been good, fam. Man, every brother done dropped some bars, man, done dropped some gems, some knowledge, all of that good stuff. Bro, the way we get this community back to where it needs to be, man, is by accountability. You pretty much summed it up. Everything that you spoke about, Conrad, was accountability, bro. It's easy to get on these platforms and get out here in the streets and point fingers and blame women for this and that and the third. I'm like, bro, when do we get to the point? We look at an angry sister, but we don't ever get to the point of the accountability piece. Like, yo, it was a man that molested her 2 years ago. And we don't hold that cat accountable. We don't hold him accountable for what he did. So when we get back to a place of accountability, and like you said earlier in the chat, look through the right lenses. When we view life the correct way, we gonna be all right, man. We got to realize that we share the same traumas, the same pain, the same heartbreaks, the same anger, fam, the same love and unity at the end of the day. When we get back to a place of that right there, we gonna be all right. All this pointing the fingers and this, that, and the third, same thing with the sisters. When we get to a place of accountability on both ends, we're gonna be all right. And when I love what Jay said when he went to his pops, and the conversation got easier when he vented to him that first time. That right there too, bro. Too many people out here like talking and want to be leaders and this, that, and the third. And fam, you can't even listen to what somebody got to say. Not just listen, but understand at the end of the day. I'm like, bro, you listen to someone on a platform crying out, bro, they hurt. They ain't full of hate. They hurt. And so we got to get to a place of that communication, understanding, bro. And like love and light. When we take all of this in, bro, we're going to be all right. And despite what the stereotypes like to say, bro, 80% of married black women are married to black men. And over 80% of black women desire to be with a black man. We got to stop taking in so much foolishness and running with it too. When we get on these platforms, man, we got a responsibility. And we got to stand on that right there, man. But we all got a voice. We all got a spirit. We all got heart. And when we take up accountability and love and proper communication and stop pointing the finger, because that's a weak move right there. You pointing the finger all day, but you can't take accountability. Nah, that's a sucker move right there. So when we stop all of that foolishness, we'll be all right at the end of the day, bro. Accountability, it starts there. What the hell can you do better as an individual? If you can't answer that, move around.
Yeah, no, that and all of everything that we've talked about tonight out of the nucleus of this clip, right? And I'll tell you the truth, right? And in aspect of transparency, because again, for anybody who's viewed, don't think that any of us are perfect. We've made our mistakes, and we make mistakes. But the mark of making the mistake is not to live in the mistake. It is to get out of that. And if I can be transparent, I'm learning something right now in my marriage. And that is the fact that I can't lead my family if I can't lead myself. I want to say that again. I cannot lead my family. I cannot lead in the community. I can't lead with my brothers. I can't stand beside Chris. I can't stand beside Rush. I can't stand beside Jay if I can't lead myself. And I say that as an alley-oop to say this. We might have to admit that a lot of the aspects of trauma bonding that is separating our community is by way of a leadership skill or a tenure of leadership that is taken in one as a man, us leading ourselves. The measure or the proof of one man leading himself is his own life. His ability to sift through his thoughts, his emotions, his vices, his weaknesses, and his strengths. And I believe in all of this, God has given us the ability to be so introspective and then so focused that, as the scripture says in Habakkuk, if we write the vision and make it plain, it won't tarry long, but it's for an appointed time. In other words, we as men, we have the ability to look at the community, to look at ourselves and say, I've got to get to a certain trajectory, no matter what is happening against me or to me. And I say this as an encouragement to the ladies. Wherever you are, however you are, however, whatever is you're going through, you see this, you owe it to yourself to pick yourself up and not live through your trauma. Some people would say, well, that doesn't make sense. If I don't live through it, what am I going to do with it? No, what I'm saying is your trauma cannot be the driving force as to why you accomplish things. It's not how God would have designed it. Because then when you're living through trauma, you're living outside of God's innate ability in you as a woman to provide and be a woman of favor and substance. If you go to Proverbs 31, scroll down to verse 26, that says her speech is seasoned with wisdom. And when she opens her mouth, it's the atmosphere around her that is confound. So that's why I agree with what Chris said earlier when he said that these women were speaking out of hurt. Rush said it too. Jay made mention of it, that as we are, we cannot speak out of such a vice as hurt and not be aligned with foundational teaching that is able to breathe legacy and generation. So we do have to be careful of the internal mechanisms by which we are allowing to shift or set our minds. I think we all agree with that. As Rush said it, we need to get aligned back in alignment with the Most High if we're out of alignment. And that transcends even what our modern Christian scope is as it relates to those standards. Getting back in alignment with God is a lot different than being in alignment with a Christian view. And that is different. Looking at my son, looking at my daughter, when I'm in the community, I might not be able to physically protect 100 people at one given time, but because I'm there, my presence speaks further than my hands or my mouth has to. It's because of how we carry ourselves, our presence. When we get back in alignment with God, our presence is able to shift atmospheres. There actually has to be a natural bending to who I am and who God is in me, moving through me when I step into rooms and atmospheres. See, these are the things that get lost, and they are not going to, as Chris mentioned earlier, they're not going to have no hype around them. Because it really takes us to sit there and say, I'm going to steal away for a little bit. I'm going to walk into this wilderness not like it's my enemy, but it's going to do more for me so that I can be able to get to a place where I'm providing foundational knowledge. Because you know what gets me? All four of us right here, all four of us have community influence. All four of us have community influence. Now imagine, I want you to look at yourself, for us four brothers on this panel right now. Imagine if we were operating at a level below our influence. I know what that looks like for me because I've been there. But could you imagine the lives, the individual lives and minds that you all have touched based on your focus and your alignment with being able to speak out into the community from a place of literally not just pick yourself up from your bootstraps, break out of the cocoon of trauma and the vices of trauma. Don't just seek to live through it as a device. Break through it. I remember the first time I encountered Jay. He's like any person who decides to want to get stuck in their trauma and bond with somebody else in their trauma. I'm not helping that person break out of that trauma because they love their trauma more than they love life. Jay, you said that over a year and a half ago. And as a grown man who's married with a father, married with kids, do you know that helped me to look into myself and say, am I living through my trauma? Is every time I turn on this camera, am I living through my trauma? Or am I going to sit there and say, fellas, this is how I overcame my trauma. This is how I was able to heal. This is how I was able to get it out of me. And this is how we benefited. And I kid you guys not, and this is what I wanted to say earlier, and I'm going to land here because we well over time, but I think this is a really good episode. Brothers, if I don't say it before we end, I want to say it now. Thank you for being up here, because each one of you have done justice to this conversation tonight in a real way and helped to really set the foundation and get other people who are going to view this to think. I'm in a season right now where I'm learning what it means to be a nurturing husband and father. You know what the thing is? I really didn't know what that looked like until now. Jay, when you said pouring into our daughters and our sons, they look to these vices, whether it's online or in the streets, because they're looking for love. They're looking for that nurturing spirit that says, I will take care of you. I will love you. I will hold you when you can't hold yourself. The Most High says that to us every day, and we don't hear it, but we see it by simple means. You got up, you made it to your job, you made it home. There was danger lurking all around you. The Most High kept you from the danger that you couldn't see. And I've said it to people before. I don't need to know everything to know that the Most High is keeping me from everything. Man, when I tell you, you brothers have helped me to become integral in my community, both on this space and abroad and here in my home. You want to know how? Because y'all kept checking in with me. And that literally reversed my mindset, because at one point I was very good at being a separatist. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, no, I got to shift that. I can't live and just think that, okay, every brother is not out here to do right. So the things we're talking about, these are not big wishful thinking things. To the audience, when you see this, every brother here represents a real tangible action that can be done in your life. J represents the removal of trauma. Rush signifies and represents not wasting seed, as you're not wasting your seed, not wasting your time, as the Bible says it and the scripture says it, not casting your pearls before swine. Chris represents the sacrament of consecration, taking the time to get your mind, your body, and your soul into alignment with God. So, and guess what? Out of all of us, all of these things work together to put the community in a compass that says, hey, it's not about what you look like. It's about how you act like, because when you fix your act, you will fix what you look like. And when you fix your act, that fixes you what you look like. You fix the message and the foundational knowledge that goes forth. And that is my closing point. Last points all around.
I don't know if I can follow what you said, brother. You hit everything on the nail perfectly. Man, kind of shorten it a bit, but I'll say this. I think in this day and age, people highlight negativity more than they do positivity, like, for sure, because it's the same thing in every damn panel that I go on to that I hear. And it's just like, bro, I am tired of well, first of all, it's one thing to point the finger and I get who's responsible, but solutions need to be made, is what I'm saying. Because until I hear that, like, all y'all doing, it's like, I have to say it, but they're high school children. Like, we still got high school mentality. And and yes, guys, I did coin that. I think there are people who are still living in high school personally that never grew the hell up. You got a girl who still has, we still live in her high school days when she's 32 or somewhere around my age, and that's damn crazy. Or you got some boys who kind of like didn't even get to teenage years, who are still that boy that was still from when he was little. And he never got a chance to mature or be himself. But I like this. I like this panel pushing progressive. Don't worry, this isn't political. Progressive ideas for solutions. So, yeah, guys, don't. And guys, that wasn't a shout out to any political. I'm just saying, we gotta be progressive and not regress. Is what I'm saying. But. Shout out to Conrad, shout out to Coach Chris, and shout out to my man Rush, man. It's been a minute since I've seen you on the panel, and since we talked, since Brother Clarence and everything. And shout out to you for being one of his supporters, because that brother was spitting knowledge. I always want to, to that brother, rest in peace. Does anybody know who Brother Clarence was? That was a brother out there. He was up in his community, and he had a YouTube channel that I think it's still up to this day. So
hold on. Clarence passed away?
Brother Clarence, yeah, he did. That was last year, I believe. No, because I thought that you had known already, but
nobody told me about that.
Yeah, and I did a stream, and I think I'm thinking like a 30-minute stream in response to his passing. Because I said, that's a black brother, OG out there, that's out there helping the community, things of that nature, like, you know, that's helping kids get backpacks and things. I supported that brother and everything that he was doing in that regards. Loved hearing that. But like I said, that's a solution. What he was doing, he was helping. So if we're talking about him now and passing, that brother has some more kids hurt there than we probably don't even know. All I know is that the actions that he took to do that. And I want to tell everybody, like I said, positivity is what needs to flourish, not negativity. Particularly because, like I said, there's too much of these cats acting like freaking children, and I can't stand it in my mind. Because I'm like, bro, I'm 34 years old, and I'm like, bro, come on. Move on. Be able to take fair criticism, like Coach Chris says. I actually wanted to say something in response to what he said. Where he said, there's too many of this, like, acting like kids out here. Some of these people who still have that high school mentality need to learn how to grow up and take criticisms. Take the criticism, learn from it, and you'll be surprised what type of a better full person that you end up becoming. Because my father did that with me. He says, son, you were good at mobile things, but you gotta be able to listen. And then when I finally shut up and fucking listen when I was younger, he got this result right here. Me out here working, me out here listening to his advice. And I keep it real with you, y'all, man. Like I said, I love my father so damn much. You have no idea how much he freaking like made an impact in my life to the point where I can say I never want to let him down. I'm 34 freaking years old. He's 75 years old right now. I still don't want to let him down. Because guess what? That man did more for me than you could ever freaking realize. And this is what ladies need to freaking hear personally. This is why the men is important in the house. Why you should never split over minute substances. And also, and like I said, I get on dudes too. Particularly, if your woman doesn't understand something, I'll say this right now. She should be able to have the foresight to sit down and have a civilized conversation with you and listen. Is what I'm saying. What is getting me is that you can marry somebody, but like, how do you not pass like communication tests, all these other things to make sure that these people are able to listen to you? That's what I'm saying. And also the last thing I'm gonna say, because I want Rush to go because we gotta leave, and I'm drawing the time. I don't mean to do this because everybody makes such great points, and I can't wait for the other stream because I'm gonna try to be on it. I'm just gonna say this to what Chris was saying real quick. There's a lot of listen. There's a lot of people out there, who can learn something. Absorbing knowledge and being accepted as part of the tribe is how you get to Chalas. It's how you get Shuris, and it's sure as hell how you get Queen Ramonda. You can get those. But guess what? You don't want killmongers. That's what you don't want. When he was preaching, I'm on board with a little bit. Like, I understand, but let's keep it real. Big part of that story is the streets of Oakland grew him up. His environment grew him up, not his parents when they were taken from him. So that's why that movie resonates with me so much. It spoke to us as people what we need to be doing. Like, no, you need to be able to accept. No, you need to be able to have both parents in the house so that family can flourish. And I'm gonna say this: the minute you make it about materialistic nonsense, you're not fit to be. I'll be honest, neither of you are fit to be parents in general. And I have to call out both because I can't get on ladies, bro. I gotta get on both because even brothers, but they bling be realize like that shit is a waste of money. Pardon my French again. I gotta be careful. I'm trying to cuss less, use less profanity and things. Like I said, that crap is freaking useless. And like I said, brother, like I said, it's not one to spend money on yourself for a little bit, but when the money becomes the person, like when the money is the substitute for the personality, I mean, it's technically just a freaking, well, and then selling a robot, in my opinion, or in this case, a man queen. I think that's the best way to put it. You're a man queen. If I'm saying the word wrong, please correct me in the comments, y'all. Because that word is freaking a pain in the ass to produce. And you're talking to a guy, and you're talking to a guy who knows Japanese language right now. So I had to relearn like some words because certain things are hard to pronounce. But with that being said, listen, thanks for having me on. Shout out to Rush, shout out to Coach Chris, shout out to Brother Conrad, and shout out to everybody who watched this live stream, man. I'm glad I could be a part of it, and I hope there are some lessons that people can take from this. And guys, don't listen with your feelings, listen with your ears. Let it marinate in your head for a while, for a few days, and then trust me, and then try to work on something every day. Last thing I have to say. I love that. But hey, listen, one random act of kindness at a time. That's what Morgan Freeman said in the Almighty movie. One random act of kindness at a time. And yes, brothers, you can showcase that to a brother out there who needs help once. And guess what? Sometimes that might be all you need to lift yourself up. Like I said, you can give him advice, but you can't make him drink the water or whatever. Like I said, he has to go on his own personal journey by himself. In that regard, doesn't mean that you're not back in his corner. Support, you stay in the background in that regards. You let him walk his own journey. And everybody check out House of David. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So, peace out, y'all.
All right. Peace. Brother Jay, we're going to definitely tap in. I'm going to be as I'm crunching down on some food in a bit. I'll be tapping in with you. Rush, final thoughts.
Yo, my final thoughts is, this quote unquote gender war, it's just gonna get worse, and it's not even based on a gender war, just the climate of what we're going through now in this world. Period. This is a part of biblical prophecies, man. The hearts of man will grow cold, and wickedness is going to be at an all-time high. I expound on this subject matter on my last stream based on Stephora, the girl that got murdered in Dominican Republic, and I was basically letting my audience know, like, yo, right now, it's either good or evil. You know what I mean? And good versus evil is causing a ripple effect to separate the goats and sheeps. You know what I mean? And yeah, man, just all I can say is just repent and hold on to the commandments, man. Because we at the last hour, man, and the king coming. You know what I mean? That's all I gotta say.
Hey, the sound words. I ain't even got anything. Coach Chris, take us home.
Nah, man, same, bro. These some dope brothers, man. Great show, great panel, great conversation. All I got is, man, just keep your head to the sky, keep your feet moving, and show somebody some love. That's it, bro. That's it.
Honestly, I didn't freeze. Trust me. But you know what? I felt to do this earlier. I didn't get to do it. So we just gonna do it now. Lord God, Father, we want to thank you for today. We want to thank you for tonight. We want to thank you for this opportunity to break bread and share with the brothers. We want to thank you for the opportunity to speak to the masses at any point that they hear this. Lord, as we come before you and as we get ready to end this show tonight, we pray that the words that we have spoken would not fall on stony ground, but it would permeate the hearts and the minds of the people and have them to look inward instead of looking outwards for something to fix them. Lord God, help us all to be rerouted and aligned and get back into alignment with your purpose for us, especially in this time when things are so detrimental. The mindset and the divisiveness of this world is causing many to wax worse and worse, us to be weighed in the balance and found wanting. God, we pray that as we move forward from here, you would guide our steps, our purpose, and our hands, our feet, and the words of our minds. Let us not delve into just what our heart feels, but help us to grow through a depth of relationship in you that breathes greatness into our tomorrow. Whatever we fail to ask, fail not to grant. We thank you for loving us, and in turn, we love you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen.
Amen and amen. Brothers, be blessed as you rest. I'm going to go catch some food. And Chris, me and you will tap in with each other. Rush, send me the links to anything you got going on this weekend, because I ain't got nothing going on.
Matter of fact, I'm doing a stream Sunday. We're gonna expound on not prophecies, but the dreams of Daniel, on how that expounds on the the wars and the mark of the beast.
Yeah. Wonderful.
I definitely want you to pull up for that, man. I mean,
I'm there because I'm free early Sunday, so I'll be home and ready to go, brother.
Word. Yeah. We're gonna go live like around 5 p.m. Eastern time, man. So definitely, I would love for you to pull up, bro. For real.
I got you.
And you're welcome too, Coach Chris, man. I mean, I don't know if you're into all the Bibles and all that, but man.
No, I can slide and show some love, bro.
Link, man.
Oh yeah, no, I gotta show some love, brother.
Word. But thanks for having me, Conrad, man. I appreciate it, man. You know what I mean?
Always.
My bad for kind of like talking about biblical stuff, man. But I don't know, man. Lately, that's just been in my spirit, bro. You know what I mean?
You need it.
Bro, don't be sorry for it, because it's part of how we flow over here. It's part of how we flow over here at QOC, the AyeBro Show. We here to feed the minds and the spirits of the people. So you right in line, brother. You are not out of line. Don't ever apologize for that at all, brother. This world's getting too comfortable in its backwardness, and we need brothers like you to stand with us and help push this forward.
Word. All right, man. I ain't gonna hold you up, man. I know you about to grub, so thanks for having me, man. I'll catch you in the flip, Conrad. Peace.
That's what's up, brother.
Peace brother. Out. Cool.
Yo, Chris. Y'all didn't left me up here by myself. It's all right. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this.
Hey, bro.
Another QOC production.
What it do?
Hey, bro.
Hey, bro. Hey, say. Hey. Hey, bro.
Moving forward from there, so that's what brought this whole partnership.
Say, let me holler at you.
Okay.
Hey,
Funny because he's fair.
Say, let me holler at you. Hey, bro. Say, let me holler at you. Hey, let's have a conversation. Bro. Say, let me holler at you. Talk to me like a man. We talking like men. Show you that I'm your brother.